typically.
So tell me what a Wook is, first of all.
So a Wook, a lot of people think it's a fan of bass nectar, like people in the EDM scene. They're like, oh, you're a Wook, you like bass nectar. That is not really technically what a Wook is. A Wook is someone that typically has like dreadlocks. They're very stinky. They are probably like semi-homeless. Maybe they live in their car. They're really gross. They do lots of drugs. They're basically just like perma-stoned. They typically don't wear shoes, and they borrow or steal like everything. And they probably make money by like selling like random little trinkets that they make, or like somehow like selling drugs or something. So they're basically just like white trash to the max, and they like travel around their favorite artists. Like they follow like their favorite musicians around. Typically in the EDM scene, they follow like very like trippy, like bass nectar kind of like shit.
So
like
the
that.
Equivalent of what like Deadheads were in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I would say like that's actually I think where the term was from, and the term comes from a Wookiee, like Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think of like Chewbacca as like this kind of like hairy kind of weird guy, and it's like literally you're like a Wook when you're just like a stinky like hairy dreadlocky person. And I'm not saying that everyone with dreadlock smells. I'm just saying like that's typically like the stonery look of a Wook.
Yeah,
And
I was next to a Wook at a Not What So Not concert, and he had a spoon out and was cooking his heroin.
Nice.
Like right there, like
Nice.
pulled up a needle. I'm like, are you about to shoot up on the dance floor? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was heroin. Could have been ketamine. It could have been cocaine. It could have been a mix of everything. Like, I don't know what he was up to, but he was dead ass, like with a spoon and a lighter, like, and I'm like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
I got to get out of here.
There's certain times where you're just like, am I in public right now? Like, what is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, this group is priceless. There's also a great page on Instagram called The Festivalist. That's a great page for Wooks. It used to be called Wooks Doing Things, but they had to change their name for some like legal reasons or something.
Maybe
I have no idea.
The Doing Things
Well,
group.
it's run by Doing Things, but they had to change it to Festivalist. I don't know why, but it's still
interesting.
hilarious. But anyway, so there was this girl there's one guy in particular. He's a DJ called Tipper that's very well known for having a large fan base of Wooks. And like you go to one of his shows, the crowd just like reeks of like DMT, and like everyone's on ketamine. Like it's very, very Wookie. And it's because like he's very well known for having like crazy visuals. Like he hires like really, really good famous like artists to do his visuals while he's playing. And he's not really the centerpiece at all. He actually like stands off to the side and DJs, and the whole thing is basically like the visuals, which is pretty cool. I've never actually been to a Tipper show, but it actually sounds awesome, but I mainly don't want to go because of the Wooks. So anyways, there was this girl that fell off of a building in New Orleans for Tipper. Like everyone was like talking about this girl that like fell off a building. Like, holy shit, this girl fell off a balcony when she was at Tipper or whatever. And so she posted in an EDM group. I'm in a lot of those too. And she said, oh, I fell 4 stories. She posted a picture of her in the hospital. If you're watching the video, you might be able to kind of see it. But it's a picture of her in the hospital, and says, fell 4 stories off a building while in NOLA for Tipper. I could really use healing words or encouragement for my physical therapy, please. Had my carnelian stone of protection on me. Divine intervention. And she's holding her little carnelian stone, which I have no idea what the fuck that is. But apparently it is for protection or some bullshit.
It's a magic rock.
So everyone's like, holy shit, like this girl, blah, 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 whatever, sending her. I think she was even at some point like accepting like donations for hospital bills and stuff.
Like a GoFundMe or something?
Yeah, something. I didn't get I don't know the like full lore of the whole story, but someone comments underneath and they said, hey, we need the full story of how you fell 4 stories. And so she comments, and this is where this whole screenshot thing got posted into International Big Game Wook Hunters, and it says, NOLA Tipper Wook bagged and tagged, boys. Quote unquote, the demons told me to jump off a building. So here we go.
Strap in, everyone. It's a wild ride.
Strap in. So this is what she said. She goes, a lot of people are asking about how I fell, and honestly, I feel a little bit uncomfortable sharing because it revolves around mysticism. Essentially, I was practicing tarot outside on a balcony, unsafe, with not much protection. Hadn't even cleansed the deck properly. Dude, she hadn't even cleansed her tarot deck properly. Bro. That is just asking for trouble.
Does she mean the tarot deck, or does she mean like the deck she was on?
Oh, maybe. I think she was talking about the tarot deck.
I think she means like she hadn't saged the deck that she was on.
Either way,
I don't
she didn't
understand these
cleanse
people.
it.
I have no idea. Something wasn't cleansed.
And she said, I was out there as a beacon of light, this kind of like this pure lantern attracting these horrific moths. Okay. And she goes, to put it in basic terms, I inadvertently messed with energies that wanted to hurt me. In my meditative, terrified state, I saw no way out other than stepping off the roof.
Are we in Bandersnatch right now? Are we watching Black Mirror Bandersnatch?
Just wait.
Are we in Bandersnatch right now?
Just wait. She goes, so I stepped off the roof to get away. I had carnelian on me to protect me, like it's her fucking rock. Ended up landing directly on my feet. No damage to my head, no damage to my arms, and no damage to my fingers.
Okay.
No way, your fingers were safe?
Dude, this sounds like Rock's gone wrong.
And then she goes, I was protected in that sense. So the rock protected you from getting injured, but you also fucking jumped off of a building.
See, I don't know if this is mental illness or drugs or just believing in something that isn't real.
It's delusion.
I think it's a smoothie. I think it's all of those, dude. I think it's a combination
it's like unmedicated schizophrenic bipolar mixed with LSD, mixed with believing that like rocks and magic cards have the power over you or something.
Well, that's the funny thing is a lot of these people will like get into like conversations with you while, you know, like at a music festival and be like, dude, that's why religion is fucking bullshit, dude. But then they're like collecting fucking crystals and telling you about their healing powers and stuff. It's like, that's the same thing with a different skin on it.
No, seriously, I've known quite a few people who have left religion to quote find spirituality, and they always find it in like tarot cards and crystals and in meditation, and they talk about like the miracles and their healing powers and like Reiki, like this like magical like I don't touch you but I touch you type, you know,
touch
stuff.
you with my vibrations and my energies, bro.
And I'm like, you do know that's the same thing, right? Like it's the same thing.
You're still believing in something.
You're still
fake.
believing in some magic. And it's like I remember one time there's this bookstore here in Atlanta that has like they sell crystals and stuff, and the crystals are expensive. They're very expensive, and they're just rocks. Let's not get it twisted. They're rocks, and they're pretty rocks, but they're just,
they might be like quote unquote like precious rocks. Like there is a cool factor of having like a rare mineral or rare stone. Like I wouldn't knock people if they were literally just like, yo, I like collecting rocks. That's fucking fine.
They're not rocks. They're minerals, Marie.
They're crystals. They have healing properties. You charge them in the sun and insert them in your butthole. Okay? They're not just fucking stupid rocks.
Okay. So,
anyways,
so like me and two other friends went. One of them was like into the crystals, and me and another buddy went with him. And the lady behind the counter would just like pick up a random rock and just start making up stuff about it for like 10, 20 minutes, and then set it down, and someone else would be like, ooh, what about this one? And she'd just pick it up and just start making up stuff. And they would set it back down.
Well, also they'll try to like, I mean, again, I'm not super knowledgeable on this stuff, but at the end of the day, these people running these shops are also super wacko. So they probably believe a lot of their own stuff.
I mean, the same way that like pastors believe in the Bible, and it's like just as wacko, you know?
But also like they're probably, you know, kind of like how a fortune teller or something along those lines will like get information on you somehow throughout like the
cold
talking.
reading.
And also it's like placebo effect. Like you want it to work, so it works kind of. So it's like they're like, oh, so what are you dealing with? What are you coming in today for? And it's like, oh, well, I've really been dealing with anxiety. It's like, oh, well, this calcimite rock will actually, if you charge it in the sun and then hold it close to your chest, it will comfort you. And then you do that, and you're like, oh, the reason why you actually feel relaxed and less anxiety is not just because you're holding this fucking rock close to your chest. It's because you're like intentionally taking a moment to try to make yourself less anxious and like calm down. Like
Rub it with your forefinger and thumb and give it a blessing and a kiss. Oh.
And set an intention.
And then set an intention that it will calm you down, and then put it in your heart, and then put it in your bag next to your money, and then you will be more abundant, because
and throughout
not
your
only
day,
does it pure, not only will you be less anxious, you will have more money.
and also at the end of the day, you take it out of your butthole and charge it in the sun.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want the full episode, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe, click here. If you want more clips, we got 2 more right over here.